Hi everyone, it's Ryan here from Syngency. Today we're going to take a brief look at the payment update feature between Xero and Syngency. When you invoice a job in Syngency, it's going to go across to Xero, and it's going to create an invoice to the client, and it's going to create bills to each of the models. So we can see here we have our invoices being created. And you can choose under settings whether this is created as a draft or whether it's awaiting approval or approved. So it really depends on your approval process within the agency. In this case, if we go back to Xero, we can see that it's set as a draft. And so the accounting team can go in and just check everything off, and if it all looks good, approve it. Now, once it's approved, we see that this invoice is awaiting payment. So payment can be added to this as soon as the client pays. You'll also notice that if we go to bills to pay, we have the two draft bills to each of the talents as well. So these are draft status. So they're not, they appear, if you click on draft here, they appear in this list. So what happens is, if we go back to the invoices, what we're going to do here is let's say that the client has now paid this invoice, and we can say that they've paid on the 20th. We could enter a reference number. Now we might say check 123, and then we'll add payment. Now once that payment has been added, you'll notice that the invoice is now listed as being paid under invoices. And if you wait a few moments, this is where Syngency will poll Xero for any payments that have been made. And it will update the booking in Syngency. So if we go back, we'll see, we refresh. The booking has now been set to closed by Xero. And if we go down to invoice and open it up, we can see now the payment date that was entered into Xero. So that information has been synced across. You'll also notice that back in Xero, if we go back to bills to pay, these two bills have automatically been authorized. So they've now been set to awaiting payment. So what you can do is anytime go into awaiting payment and view a full list of bills which the invoice from the client has been paid, so these have now been ready to pay to the talent. And so we can go in, and likewise we can set payment dates for each of the talent. We might enter check numbers. Now, once that payment has been made, we can go back to Syngency, and if we check Adam Schofield, this is the person we just paid, and we go to settings, you'll now see Xero has updated the payment date, and the payment reference that we entered in Xero has been updated in Syngency. And so once these fields have been populated by Xero, that's when it's going to appear in the model statement and appear in their reports. So just a quick overview of how Syngency and Xero interact with payments to make everything a lot smoother and a lot easier for your accounting process.